Folks, today I'm going to tell you the story of the guy with the worst sense of timing in Greek mythology. Ixion was the first and only mortal Zeus invited to Olympus. And what did he do with this unique opportunity? He tried to seduce the host's wife. It's a story of ingratitude, betrayal, and the most creative revenge Zeus ever devised. Ixion was king of the Lapiths, a warrior tribe famous for their violence. And the guy lived up to his reputation. He was brutal, but he wasn't a noble warrior, more like a psychopath with a crown. The first red flag in Ixion's life happened at his own wedding. He was going to marry Dia, a beautiful and wealthy princess. But his father-in-law, Ionius, asked for a high dowry, essentially a payment for his daughter. It was customary at the time, but Ixion thought it was too high. "Okay," said Ixion, "I'll pay. Come get the dowry in my city." Ionius, overjoyed, went to Ixion's palace to collect his payment. But when he got there, surprise! Ixion had dug a giant pit full of embers along the way and covered it with leaves. His father-in-law fell into the trap and was burned alive. People, imagine the coldness. The guy killed his own father-in-law on his wedding day to avoid paying the dowry. And in such a sadistic way. Dia was shocked. She discovered she had married a cowardly murderer. But there was nothing she could do. Women had no right to divorce in ancient Greece. News of the crime spread throughout Greece. And the problem was that killing a relative through marriage was considered one of the most heinous crimes of the time. It was like breaking all the sacred laws at once. No king wanted to purify Ixion of the crime. In Greek religion, anyone who killed a relative was cursed until they found someone to perform a cleansing ritual. But no one wanted to associate with such a disgusting man. Ixion was isolated, pursued by the Furies, the goddesses of vengeance, slowly going mad, until the unthinkable happened. Zeus looked at the situation and thought, "This mortal needs a second chance. I will personally purify him." People, Zeus, the king of the gods, decided to pardon Ixion. He performed the purification ritual and even invited the man to Olympus. It was an unprecedented honor. No mortal had ever set foot in the realm of the gods as a guest. Ixion was going to be the first human to dine at the divine table, to learn all the secrets of Olympus. Zeus basically gave Ixion the most incredible opportunity in human history. And how did Ixion react to such generosity? By planning the biggest betrayal possible. As soon as he arrived on Olympus, Ixion became obsessed with Hera. The queen of the gods' beauty drove him completely mad with desire. Man, thought the insane, if I could conquer Hera, I'd practically be a god too. Imagine the power that would give me. This guy's audacity is beyond words. Zeus saves him from madness, invites him to Olympus, and the guy decides to hit on the host's wife. Ixion began flirting with Hera shamelessly. He kept looking at her with those psychopath eyes, making complimentary comments, trying to touch her hand. Hera was disgusted. "Zeus, your guest is harassing me. Do something." But Zeus didn't believe it at first. "Honey, it must be your imagination. The guy must be just excited to be here." Hera insisted, "Zeus, I know harassment when I see it. This man is trying to seduce me." Then Zeus decided to test it. He created an exact replica of Hera using clouds, like a perfect hologram of his wife. And he left this fake Hera alone with Ixion to see what would happen. And exactly what Hera had said happened. Ixion saw the fake Hera and attacked her. Hera, I can't stop thinking about you. I know you're married, but what you two have isn't real love. Zeus doesn't deserve you. And he tried to kiss the replica cloud. Zeus appeared in the nick of time and caught everything. The divine fury was so great that all of Olympus shook. Ixion! Zeus bellowed in a voice that made the mountains crack. I saved you from madness. I forgave you a horrible crime. I brought you to my home, and you tried to seduce my wife. Ixion tried to explain himself. Zeus, you don't understand. Hera and I have a special connection. Connection? Zeus was literally spitting lightning. You tried to betray the one who saved you. And then Zeus devised a punishment that was genius in its cruelty. He tied Ixion to a giant wheel of fire and sent it spinning for eternity in the heavens. It wasn't a stationary wheel. It spun endlessly, leaving Ixion eternally dizzy, nauseous, and burning. But the worst part wasn't even the physical pain. It was the eternal humiliation. Zeus insisted that the punishment be public. Every soul that died and went to the underworld saw Ixion spinning in the sky as an example of what happens to those who betray hospitality. And to ensure that Ixion never forgot the lesson, Zeus made the wheel cry out eternally, "Honor your benefactors! Honor your benefactors!" So Ixion spends eternity spinning, burning, nauseous, and listening to a mantra about gratitude he never practiced in life. The irony is perfect. The guy who betrayed the one who saved him is now forced to forever remember the importance of gratitude. But guys, the story gets even more bizarre. From the union of Ixion and the Cloud Hera, the centaurs were born. These half-man, half-horse creatures were the offspring of Ixion's betrayal. In other words, to this day, there are beings who are literally descendants of this epic betrayal. The moral of the story is clear. Hospitality was sacred in ancient Greece. When someone welcomed you into their home, you had an obligation to respect it. Ixion broke the most basic rule of civilization: don't betray those who help you. Zeus literally saved his life, and in return received an attempted adultery. It's the perfect example of how some people will always disappoint, no matter how many chances you give them. How often does this happen in real life? You help someone, and they use your generosity against you? You give them a unique opportunity, and they waste it spectacularly? Ixion had it all: divine forgiveness, access to Olympus, the chance to be remembered as the first mortal worthy of the gods. And he threw it all away for lust and ambition. Zeus learned his lesson. He never invited another mortal to Olympus again. Ixion ruined all of humanity. And you, have you ever given a second chance to someone who only brought you disappointment? Have you ever seen someone waste a unique opportunity out of greed? The wheel of Ixion is still turning, reminding us that some betrayals are unforgivable. Leave your stories of ingratitude in the comments and subscribe for more examples of how not to act toward the Greek gods.